Hey y'all, it's Natalie for A Cherry on Top Crafts, and today is the design team YouTube hop for the month of July. And I'm super excited because this month's theme is monochromatic. So our projects are supposed to be monochromatic, and it's such a fun little challenge to do for whatever you decide to create. And I'm doing a scrapbook page of this awesome cruise photo that I took on our Alaskan cruise. And when I went to edit it, I didn't really put any interesting filters, but it just was because everything around it was so blue. It edited very bright blue. And so I decided to use this Wherever paper from 49 and Market and go with the blue theme. So I was floundering between which side to use, but I go with the lighter side, and you'll see why here in a moment. I'm going to finally get to use this Enchanted Ocean 8x8 vellum paper that I ordered a couple months ago. It's so beautiful, but it is maybe a little bit difficult to use. Maybe I'm hoarding it. I don't know. But I choose one of these that kind of goes with the color scheme as jellyfish, which are my favorite. And I'm going to use that to layer on under the photo. I used a very old Vicky Bouton paper that had kind of waves on it to cut out the word wonder out of my Cricut. And I just kind of welded that together from a font that I have on my computer. I pulled this packet of ephemera layer building pieces from 49 and Market out of the summer cherry box. And I'm just looking through for a nice blue piece, and it'll help that vellum piece kind of have a base and stick out. And that's when I switch it back over to the lighter side of the paper because I want it to stand out. And I'm really liking the way that looks. So my title is going to be Never Lose Your Sense of Wonder. And I'm going through my ephemera bits to find blue. And so I think that collection from Vicky Bouton is called Where You Go. Maybe, sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. And then this one is the Wherever collection by 49 and Market. And then that's a Paintbrush Studio collection, but the blues were not quite right. But I did pull out the Wherever rub-ons that you see right there, and I'm going to use those. Next, I'm going to work on my title. I have these Concord and Ninth double cut dies, and these are one of my favorite dies. They're perfect size, and they cut two. So I'm showing you they cut like an outline and an inside. And so when I want to use both the outline and inside but have them contrasting, I will flip over after I cut, before I kind of remove everything out of the die, and then I'll use some tear away tape, and I will make sure to kind of make the inside piece and the outside piece adhere together. And that way I have a base, and then I'll go through and add like a different pattern for just the inside cut, and it will help me kind of keep everything together and not lose pieces. So I don't know if my cardstock was old or something, but it did crack. I even tried spraying it with water, like an old trick that I like to do for embossing, like when you're doing embossing with embossing folders, but that didn't even work. So I'm just like, well, I like to do distress, so I'm cool with the cracked look. So that's what was going on there. But then I used the same paper that I used to cut out the word wonder to cut out the insides of all of those letters. Now I'm roughing up the edges of the Wherever basic cardstock, and then also of the little, what do they call those pieces? I have them right here. Hold on. They definitely came in the summer cherry box, but they are called Mix and Match Cardstock Die Cut Pieces. And I have this vellum, and so I want to kind of make it have rough edges as well. So I pull out, this is actually a heat tool. It's like the, what do you call it? Foil quill from We Are Memory Keepers, but I put a wood burning tool on the end, and so I'm just using it to kind of burn through the vellum and like give it some rough edges. And I think it wasn't heated up here at first, and I won't make you watch me do all of this, but I'm just kind of drawing along the edges. I don't need to take away much of the edge, but I do want it to have like a distressed rough edge like the rest of the pages. So I'm just kind of using that very fine tip to draw like a little, sorry about that earthquake, a little squiggly line down the edge, and it will eventually burn through the paper and just kind of like let it fall away and have a distressed edge. And so I do that all the way around. I don't make you watch me, but I do kind of follow the the outline of that other solid piece there you see on the left, so that where there's a cutout, there will be a cutout in the vellum as well. So, oh, I left a little bit in here, I guess. But that's, you kind of get the idea of what I'm going there. I mean, you could cut it and you might could distress it with a distress tool, but I feel like the vellum is so thin that you'd be much more likely to like rip your paper, whereas this heat tool situation worked really well. And so here you can kind of get a feel of what the page is going to look like as it comes together. I'm really loving the way that looks. I'm really glad that I got to use that vellum paper because it's so pretty. So the die cut word is going to overlap the photo just a bit. There was like an unsightly piece of boating equipment down in the bottom, so the D will hide it nicely. This is where I realized I had not cut the word of, so I will have to go back and do that. But now I'm just kind of figure out where I'm going to put all of my ephemera pieces. I'm probably not going to use all of those, so I'm just looking around to see where I would like things to go. I decide I like that one that says so much to see, but I don't want to use any more words. I just want my title to kind of stand for itself. So I'm going to create that little cluster there on the right, and I want to use that tag to say the name of the ship. And oh, I decide that I need to use some of these rub-ons to peek out from around that middle piece of paper. So I'm going to use this one, but I'm going to cut it 3 different ways and just let it peek out of the edges in 3 different spaces. I love 49th and Market rub-ons, some of my favorite products. But make sure to hop along today for the Cherry on Top Design Team YouTube hop, because everyone has created monochromatic layouts and they're so cool and so unique and so fun. I really, really, really love this challenge. So if you hop along and you comment on everyone's video, then you will be entered for a chance to win a $25 store credit to acherryontop.com, which is really generous and awesome. And then if you follow everybody, then you'll make sure to get lots of new inspiration whenever everybody posts new videos. We have such a wide array of crafters on our team, which I really love. So there's something for everyone. And you'll be seeing a lot of this Alaska album out of me here soon. I'll actually be on the Cherry on Top channel tomorrow, so with another one. I did use my cherry foam pop dots to pop up that solid mix and match die cut piece, and right above those rub-ons where I put it, I did add a little bit of the blue distress oxide splatter over the top of those rub-ons, and I'll actually go back at the end and add a little bit more. Since I will say, like, normally with vellum, you might need to be careful where you put your adhesive. On this one, I was going to cover up the middle part anyway with my photo. But in fact, I don't think you could have been able to tell where the adhesive was, because there's so much going on with this beautiful paper that I don't think that it would have been noticeable, even if I hadn't covered up with a photo. I was just coming to look and see the color. That distress oxide color is chipped sapphire. And so I inked up the edges of my cut file with that. And that's the same color that I used for the splatter. Everything's coming together nicely here. I decided to put the subtitle kind of like, or the pre-title, in 2 different lines. So never lose on the same line, and then your sense on the same line. And then I'll put of right above the word wonder. I'm going to use my tiny attacher to put that little cluster together over on the left. And I'm going to create another bit that pops out from the bottom here, the bottom right. I use my Nuvo adhesive to stick down the die cut Cricut image. And it's just so beautiful. Like, first of all, these ships navigate in between like the tiniest little areas between like 2 hills or 2 mountains, and so beautiful. And so that's just like, we were walking back to the ship and I was just like, look at that ship just positioned between those 2 snow-capped mountains. You know, it's so beautiful. So I had to stop and snap a few pictures. I have quite a few pictures in this position, and it was with a few other ships too, which was kind of cool. So yeah, that's what was going on. So I like the title, Never Lose Your Sense of Wonder. I'm going to pop up that little ephemera cluster on some of the same foam dots that I used to pop up the square piece of paper there in the middle. And I like mix and matching collections. So I think that those worked well together, and they bring in different shades of blue, which I really appreciate. Lots of Vicky Bouton, lots of 49er Market over here. So I'm messing with the letters. So the tearaway tape that I put on before, I'll use that, but then I also add additional Nuvo glue because I love Nuvo glue, and especially sticking down on top of that vellum. So I have the tearaway tape and the Nuvo adhesive, which is holding down all of those tiny alphas. And they do, it does take a little bit of time to do like die cut alphas like that sometimes, but to me it's worth it. I really love a good title. If you watch my channel, you'll see that I sometimes like start with a title. Long titles, punny titles, they're my jam. So it's worth it to me to have a really good collection of alpha dies, because then I don't know if you've seen the price of a thicker lately, but they are up there. And so an alpha die is just something you can use over and over and over again. Also, in an album like this, you could get cohesion because you could use the same one on a lot of pages and it'll kind of bring them all together. I hope you guys enjoyed my monochromatic project. Make sure to hop along. The list is down below. There's also a few affiliate links if you would like to go grab any of these products that are in the store. Thanks you guys for watching. I would love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye y'all.